Hi everyone! In this tutorial I will show you how to create a parametric ball valve in Revit. This Revit family will be controlled by a CSV lookup table. I'll start with opening the PipeEX 2 connectors template. And here we'll add a few reference planes. I'll add a dimension and set equal spacing between these reference planes. And then I'll add another dimension. And for this dimension, we'll create a new parameter. We'll call it underline C, and I'll make it an instance parameter. Then I'll add a few more reference planes. Also for this dimension, I'll add a new parameter that I'll call H. These dimensions we'll need for the body of our ball valve. And also here we'll need to add a few parameters. Then I'll go to family types, and here we'll create a few more parameters. This parameter we'll use for the length of our ball valve, and I'll temporarily set it to 80 millimeters. And we'll need one more parameter for the width of the ball valve body. I'll make it an instance parameter. Alright, and I'll set it to 54 millimeters. And for these parameters that we previously created, I'll add a few formulas. This parameter value I'll set to 10, and this one, the DU parameter, I'll set to 15 millimeters. I'll click apply and OK. I'll temporarily delete this parameter, and we'll adjust the position of these reference planes first, and then And then I'll add this label again. So we need to set it to something like 6. And later we'll add formulas for this parameter. So it was H. I'll set the thickness parameter to 1 millimeter. Now we can start modeling the body of our ball valve. So I'll go to Create tab and select the Revolve tool. Here we'll draw a rectangular. It will be the profile of our Revolve. And I'll click the lock icons. And pick the axis of rotation. Okay. Next I'll go to the left view. So again, I'm going to create. This time I'll select extrusion. And I'll choose the circumscribed polygon. The number of sides is already set to 8, so you can leave it as it is. And then we'll add dimensions. And also here I'll constrain these planes so the spacing stays equal. I'll add dimensions for all sides. And then I also need to add angular dimensions. And then we'll create a circle. Also here I'll add a dimension. I'll make it a diameter dimension. For this dimension we don't need to create new labels because we can simply assign the existing end1 DU label. Then I'll click OK and oh wait a second, we forgot to assign the label to these dimensions. So let's do it. I'll create a new label, we'll call it SW. I'll make it an instance parameter. Okay. Now I can go to the right view. I'll temporarily hide this element and we'll create the second. I'll go to Create, Extrusion, and use the same tool that we used for the first element. So basically I need to repeat the steps. Also here I equalize the reference planes. And again, I'll add angular dimensions because we want to always have 135 degrees. And also here I'll click the lock icons so that everything stays in place. And again, I'll draw a circle, create a diameter parameter, and I'll assign the DU label for it. And then I can click, oh wait, also here I need to assign the right label for these dimensions. It was the SW parameter. And then I can click OK. Let's go to a 3D view and see what we have. So we need to go to the reference level view and place them correctly. I want this element to be locked between these two reference planes, so I'll use the Align tool, select the reference plane first and then the edge of this element. And the same I'll do for another element. Also here, don't forget to click the lock icon. I'll enable the shaded representation. So that's what we created so far, and I can go back to the reference level view. And here, so basically we finished modeling the body of our ball valve, and so we can continue with other elements. So I'll go to Create and select the Extrusion tool. Here I'll draw a circle, create a diameter dimension for it. And for this dimension, we'll assign the underline F parameter. I'll click OK and we'll go to the front view. Here, I'll first create a few reference planes. This is fine, and then I will copy this reference plane. This should be enough, I think. And now we can adjust the height of this cylinder we created. So again, I'll use the Align tool, select the reference plane first and then the bottom of our cylinder. The same I will do for its top, and I'll click the lock icon. I wasn't sure if I locked it, but everything seems to be fine. So now I'll go back to the reference level view, and here we'll create another cylinder. Again, I'll add a diameter dimension. And for this dimension, we'll create a new parameter that I will call underline R. No, actually it's a diameter, so better to call it D, and I'll make it instance parameter. Okay. Now I'll go to family types, and here I want to add a formula for this parameter. It will be equal to underline F multiplied by 1.3. Now I will go to the front view. And here we'll adjust the height of this element. I'll make these reference planes equal to each other. And we'll add a few more dimensions on the right side. We'll label this dimension underline F. For this dimension, we'll create a new parameter. We'll call it D. And I'll add a few more reference planes. Okay, now I can go to the reference level view. And here we'll start modeling the handle of the ball valve. So I'll go to Create tab and select the extrusion tool. This line I will align with the reference plane. Click the padlock. And then I'll add a few dimensions. I will equalize them. And this dimension I will label underline F. I'll click OK and we'll go to the front view. So here again, I'll use the Align tool to adjust its position in the view. Let's see what we have created. Yes, it's fine, we can continue. And I will continue in the front view. And here I first need to add a few dimensions for the handle. I'll create a new parameter for this dimension and we'll call it underline T. I'll make it an instance parameter and click OK. Then I'll go to family types, and for this parameter underline T, I will add a formula. I'll open the brackets and type in D minus underline F. I'll close the brackets. So this value I want to be divided by 6 and then multiplied by 0,5 or 0.5 in my case. Yes, I'll click apply and OK. For this dimension, I'll assign the same label, underline T. OK. To create the handle of the ball valve, I will go to the Create tab and use the extrusion tool. Here I need to draw a profile. Okay, and then I will align the lines of this profile with the reference planes. To do this, I'm using the Align tool. Alright, and I also want to lock these points in place. Okay, now we are over constraining the sketch. What about this one? Yes, this is it. We can click OK. And now we need to go to the reference level view, and here we'll adjust the position of the handle. Also this time we'll use the Align tool. First I will select the edge of the element we previously created, and then I will select the edge of our handle. And I'll click the lock icons. So we'll haven't added pipe connectors, so I'll place them now. I'll go to Create and here select Pipe Connector. I'll select Work Plane, pick a plane, and I will pick this plane over here. Now we need to find the pipe connector. Here it is. I will mirror it and then we'll place it correctly, setting this value to 0. And then I'll add one more pipe connector. For the diameter of these pipe connectors, I want to select a parameter. It will be the DN parameter. Then I'll go to the front view and we'll place these pipe connectors correctly. So I want to place it at the reference level 0. Like this, great. I'll temporarily hide these pipe connectors so that we can see the geometry better. Next, I need to add size lookup formulas in family types. So first I'll copy the formulas from another Revit file and then simply paste them here. But first I need to go to family types and then I'll go to manage lookup tables. Here I'll delete the existing table and import the new one. It is called Revolve. And then I'll click OK. Next, for the Lookup tab parameter, I'll add a new formula. Here I need to add the name of the lookup table of the CSV file that I'm using for this Revit family. So I'll type in Revolve. Don't forget to add quotes, because otherwise you'll get an error, or alternatively you can add the name of the CSV file as a value. Okay, so let's start adding the formulas. For the pressure rating, I will type in 16. So instead of this value that I just pasted, I need to paste the name of the parameter I want to use this formula for. So it's C in this case. And here I will type in D. Okay, I'll add a few more formulas. Yes, quite a lot of formulas you need to add, but no worries. We'll upload the CSV file together with the ball valve Revit family as support materials, so you'll be able to find everything you need. And I will go to the reference level view and will create the last element for the handle. I will go to the Create tab, and here I'll select Blend. We'll use the Blend tool. So first I'll draw a circle. Create a diameter dimension. For this dimension, I'll create a new parameter and we'll call it underline B. And then I'll go to Edit Top, and here we'll draw another circle for the top of our blend. Also here I will create a diameter parameter, create a new parameter, let's call it underline K, and I'll make it instance parameter. Then I'll click OK, and we'll go to the front view. And again, I'll hide the pipe connectors because it's very difficult to see what we are doing when they are here. So also here I'll use the Align tool. Oh, wait a second. So I want it to be placed at this level. Click the lock icon as always. And well, actually I need to add one more reference plane over here, and then I'll add a dimension because I want to lock it between the existing reference planes. Next, I will select the Align tool. Click the reference plane, and then the edge of the blend. And I'll click the lock icon. Okay, yes, so it will remain in place. We can go to family types and maybe adjust the values of the new parameters. This one I'll set to 10 and this one, wait a second. And for underline K, I will say that it will be equal to half of the B parameter. I'll click apply and OK. So this is our ball valve. I'll quickly go to the front view because I see that I forgot to align the bottom of the cylinder with the right plane. So I'll use the align tool and then I'll select the edge of the cylinder and click the lock icon. I will add one more dimension. We need this dimension for the length of the handle. And I'll create a new parameter. We'll call it G, and I'll make it, as always, an instance parameter. Next, I'll go to family types, and we'll add a formula for this parameter. I'll simply copy the existing formula and I'll change the parameter name. So here's our size lookup formula, so I can click apply and OK. So basically that's it. This is how you can create a parametric ball valve in Autodesk Revit. I want to check whether this geometry works properly, and as always we'll change this parameter value, let's say to 8. Apply and OK. Oh yes, it works. Alright, so let's try other sizes. What about 15? Yes, it works. Great. As always, I hope you liked this video. If so, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you in the next video.